So here we go. Here's a video I've been meaning to do. While I'm at it here, I want to say, Dale Batten, however you say your last name. Still using your product, still using your pouch here. It's an awesome pouch. It's seen some abuse, and I've done, as you can see, I've done a little bit of modification here. Some of my own handiwork. Great stuff. Great belt. The belt itself, the pouch is just fantastic. That's stiff. Anyhow, holding up strong. Nothing wrong with it. None of the stitching is coming out, and the this thick leather is really doing its job. A couple weeks ago, the folks from K&H, they sent me a box of wedges. They were kind enough to send me a box of wedges in the promise that I do a educated and experienced and honest review. So if you've seen the content, I've been keeping these in my pouch for the last 3 weeks on that frozen timber. We didn't have to do a ton of wedging, but we did. We were out there for 3 weeks, and I feel like I'm kind of exposing myself a little bit here because I used these 4 wedges for the entirety of that 3 weeks. You can see where I got a little crazy on some of them, but I didn't beat on them too hard. Typical wear and tear stuff. Kind of what you'd expect to see. So typically I carry 3 wedges, 3 12-inch single taper wedges. They sent me a handful of those. I was very, very pleased by that. And they also sent me a couple of these 10-inch triple tapers. Very nice wedge. I liked having it in the pocket. It just has a little bit of a wider profile, flares out a little bit, and it wedges quick. And then once you get up to this third taper, this heavy taper, it becomes a little harder to wedge. But I think the idea behind that is by the time you're at that point, you're at a point where you can really get some serious lift out of the tree. So I think when used properly, it works really well. Typically I will use these Madsen's Blues. Very effective. They're cheap, and they hold up well. So the biggest thing, in all honesty, I've used K&H before. I have quite a bit of experience with them. And then this last little run I did with them was just to actually think about it while I was using the wedges, and it has made a little sense. And some of my thoughts on these beforehand held out to be true, and some of them also, maybe I'm just a better wedger now, but some of them weren't so true. Now I will say, these K&H wedges, they do seem to be a touch softer. I don't know if this is going to prove anything to anybody, but they seem to be a bit softer. They're plastic, just like any other modern wedge. They're plastic, so they cut, but that just seems to be a whole lot softer than this Madsen's Blue wedge. You can still, like I said, it's plastic. You can still cut it, but there's an obvious difference in resistance when I try and cut this Madsen's Blue and this K&H. It cuts right in and digs right in. Now that's going to be a problem. That's going to be a problem for somebody who hasn't spent a lot of time wedging stuff over. If you're constantly getting miss swings, miss hits, bad hits, these can gum up pretty quick. They just can. I haven't, like, as you've seen, I haven't had to trim on them too much. There's a little bit of mushrooming going on, which happens. If you know anything about wedging, you know that happens. Your wedges will mushroom out, and that's just from beating on them with an axe. Part of the game. Now, one thing I did notice, which maybe it was the frozen timber and like how hard it was, but one thing I did notice is that these K&H wedges, they don't seem to stack too well. You go and put a set of them in the tree, and you sprinkle your sawdust in there or whatever you do. They tend to bounce out. I kept having my stacks and my doubles bounce out on me, and I couldn't figure out why. Now I didn't take out another set of Madsen's Blues with me to see if the same thing would happen, but that is just one thing I've noticed. Like I said, it could have been the hard frozen timber. I am not crazy experienced with that hard frozen timber, so could be something unique to that setting, but that is one thing I've noticed. I've never had that problem with the K&H's before, so I don't know. It's a wedge. It's a great wedge. It's a piece of plastic. They drive well, and they have a great variety of wedges. I think hold on. Like I was saying, they have a great variety of wedges. You know, I think these are their 8-inchers, and they've got some smaller ones. Some more of these 8-inch triple tapers. They have some 10-inchers, some 12-inchers. They just have great variety. So if you are looking for a company that makes a great variety of wedges, that you can find them all at the same place, K&H is probably your way to go. That being said, they might be a little more expensive, but it's a great product, great variety. On me, this has always been my main runner, and honestly, I can't, at this moment, I can't really find one that's better than the other on pure performance alone. Now, what I can say is that this is a little softer, this is a little harder. What I can say is that these are a little cheaper, these are a little more expensive. Not by much, but if that's something that matters, then that's something you might want to think about. All in all, great product. I like them. Nothing wrong with them. I probably won't use these shorter guys, but the options are out there for you. They even make them with different colors and different yada yada yada. There's an American flag one that they make. It's pretty cool stuff. So 3 weeks on these bad boys. I don't know, and I'd probably use them for another 3 weeks, to be honest. I mean, this one I got a hold of with my saw pretty good. That was a oopsie tree that I did there, but I'd probably replace this one or file on it, make it a little shorter. I don't know, but I'd probably use these wedges for another couple weeks, 3, 4, 5 weeks, until they really gave out. And that's really all you can ask of a wedge.